1485. Columbus made it back alive.
I told you I'm not going to include any more Columbus jokes on this podcast.
1485. Columbo's family still lived in Italy, probably. No, almost certainly, of course. There's one more thing, Ram. That's my Columbo impression.
You got that.
Good.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? I've always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you.
Well, it's another beautiful day in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood.
And it's a rainy day in our neighborhood, but
Quite
we're not letting
rainy.
that get us down.
It won't stop a podcast, rain or shine, sleet or snow.
We will make the podcasts go.
I'm Steven,
I'm Andrew.
and welcome to Please Won't You Be My Podcast.
It's a podcast about Mr. Rogers.
Neighborhood.
Sure.
Today, Mr. Rogers has a football.
Yeah. Do you want to say what episode this is first?
Yeah, it's the episode where he has a football.
You don't have the number?
No, it's 1484.
There we go.
It's Volume 2, Episode 9 on the Amazon collection.
That's the preamble out of the way. Today, Mr. Rogers has a football.
Yeah, it's that episode.
Mr. Rogers looks weird with a football, Steven.
It's the famous Mr. Rogers has a football episode.
Yeah.
He looks weird with a football, you
Yeah,
think?
he's not a person who looks natural carrying a football or throwing a football in the air to catch it.
Well, he admits that he's not very good with a football.
Yeah, he addresses up front, I'm not very good at football, but I have a friend who's very good at football.
But you know what Mr. Rogers is good with? Tossing the old, whatever kind of leather shoes are made of around.
Yeah.
Because he does a really dramatic... he tosses his shoe from his right hand to his left hand at the beginning of every episode.
Right.
Today, maybe because he was tossing around a football,
It was all loosened up.
he tossed it like a full meter across the breadth of his arm, and he felt real fancy about it, I think.
I missed that.
Oh, it'll be a gift.
Yeah, I'll look forward to seeing it.
Um,
Yeah, Mr. Rogers bad at football, Mr. Rogers' friend good at football, because Mr. Rogers' friend is NFL Pittsburgh Steeler Lynn Swan.
Steelers is an interesting... Like, is it because they steal the ball? Or is it like they...
It's because Pittsburgh's a steel town.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So yeah, another podcast might have some sort of career highlights or something of Lynn Swan. I looked up to confirm that, yeah, he's a real football player.
Yep.
And this next thing we're going to learn about him is also true.
He's a ballerino.
He also likes ballet.
He's a ballerino.
Yes.
This is a word that you taught me. I don't know if it's a real word.
I'm reasonably positive it's a real word.
Uh,
It's the masculine of
ballerina.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite words. I should just input it into my... Got a list of favorite
We got
words
a
here.
live update.
Of Steven's favorite.
Steven's favorite words. Well, while Steven's punching that in, I will just, I guess, transition us over. Well, first of all, we watch a little supercut of Lynn Swan playing some football. Number 88 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I zoned right out because it's football, and football is boring to me.
I also zoned right out. He did a backward somersault. I don't know if it was he got hit really hard and just went head over heels a few times, or if he was being overly dramatic.
It's hard to say. I did see a video when I was trying to find more video of him doing ballet, but all I found was video of him in a football game jumping over a parked car, which was interesting for two reasons. One, it's not every day you see a man jump over a parked car, and two, there was a period, I guess, in, I think, still pro football where people just parked cars in the end zone.
All right, ballerino.
All right.
It has joined the ranks of Dremel, Weep, Poodle, Noodle, Blurb, Splurge, Boogaloo, Bumbershoot, Blunderbuss, Persnickety, Besmirch, Investigative, Lozenge, Flaw, Avocado, Scooch, Exuberance, Borscht, Snooker, and now Ballerino.
Dremel isn't a word, it's a brand name.
I know, but I like the sound of it.
Fair enough.
We
I
haven't
like Hummel.
we haven't really confirmed whether Ballerino is a word.
I'm a percentage of positive that it is. And it's above 50.
Well then, in
Yeah.
that case.
I would say it might even be above 75. Look, I don't want to do the math here. After the football montage.
We head over to the dance hall.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Phoenix, we've got a case.
It's Edgeworth.
Oh. Right, yes.
We head over to the dance hall.
Yeah, the dance hall is allegedly in the brown building behind the red building that we start every theme song on.
Sure.
Could
Why
be.
not?
We don't see it. It might be. I don't know. I don't think it's an accurate model of the neighborhood of Pittsburgh, but it could be.
If we had 400 hours, then we could watch every episode of Mr. Rogers and see if any of these buildings are reused for other purposes.
Well, we do not have 400 hours.
There's just too many episodes.
We are but human.
Or are we Dancer?
Are we not men? We are Devo. Yours is better because let's talk about dancers.
Yeah, that's
Mr.
why.
Rogers walks into the ballet class. A bunch of ballerinas and ballerinos are doing some...
Mostly ballerinas.
Mostly ballerinas.
One ballerino, but I didn't notice him until later, so maybe he wasn't even there at the beginning.
That's also true. Yeah, a bunch of ballerinas are doing some balletic exercises.
Mm-hmm.
The ballet coach, who is extremely ballet coach.
His name is Mr. Davis, the ballet master.
Yeah. Before we went over here, Mr. Rogers does this thing that I've started noticing he does, which is really carefully prepare us for everything that is going to be going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, we're going to meet Lynn Swan at the ballet studio. His coach will also be there.
I mean, that's just like from like an education standpoint.
I guess, yeah.
You want to outline what's going to be happening so that you aren't piecing it together as it's happening, and you can actually get everything out of it.
Big Bird, listen, he's taller than you might expect.
Let's get that out of the way now.
As much, yeah.
Big Bird wasn't here this week.
No, it wasn't.
Nobody told me he was leaving so soon.
I mean, he kind of did.
I never got to say goodbye.
You never got to say hello. It was just on a TV show, Steven.
I know, but...
And it wasn't even live. It was years and years old.
I know, it's from the 80s.
Yeah, it's older than you.
Well, they dance for a bit, and then Lynn Swan shows up.
Yeah, Lynn Swan shows up. Well, I mean, Mr. Rogers talks to the coach for a bit. The coach, I noticed when he's talking, assumes a talking stance, which is very, like, hands on his hips in a very ballet pose.
Ballet or Superman.
Ballet or Superman,
And
yes.
really any male occupation that involves tights.
Superman and ballet are both very similar when you think about it.
Sure.
Both wear tights.
Both put their
little boots.
Arm forward and one arm backward before they jump.
Both are like muscular, but in sort of I'm thinking of 50s Superman. You know how in the 50s strong men were like strong in a very smooth sort of way? Like they hadn't figured out how to isolate muscles.
Oh, you mean like they didn't have abs, they just had like a smooth gut.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, exactly.
I don't know anything about muscles or physical fitness, but I understand the cartoon shape you're describing.
Lest you think I'm some sort of big bodybuilder expert. The reason I made that whole thing about isolating muscles, I just picked it up from a D&D podcast I like, where they were describing the build of their paladin. Friends at the Table. Good podcast.
Okay. Does the word barrel-chested?
Yeah, barrel-chested I think is how I would describe it, but I don't know if it would be accurate.
I can't think of a time I've ever heard that phrase used in particular, so I don't know if I'm using it right, but...
Indeedy do.
Yeah,
Lynn shows up.
And he's like still wearing all Lynn, what?
Straight off the gridiron to ballet practice.
He says, sorry I'm late. I'm like, late? Nothing. You didn't even go to the locker room after you finished your last game.
He is going from a football game to a ballet studio. Two facilities that I bet both have changing rooms.
Oh, no doubt.
And he has chosen to change into his ballet outfit in the middle of the dance floor.
Yeah, which
to be fair, he's wearing underneath his not his usual clothes, his football uniform.
Those are his usual clothes.
Yeah.
He doesn't have time for anything in his life, obviously, besides football or ballet.
He is really loading up the extracurriculars.
Like it's a real maybe it's sending an important message to kids. Like you can do stereotypically strong things and stereotypically artistic things like ballet and still be one whole person. But also, just like Lynn, man, you're overbooking yourself.
Yeah.
The fact that you have to
Stretching
wear
yourself
your
thin.
leotard underneath your football suit,
Yeah. So
just
we
like
get
maybe try to book yourself less. Take some time off.
yeah, we get a tour of Lynn's football outfit. You can tell I'm a real sporto because I called it a football outfit and also just used the word sporto now.
Sure.
Yeah.
He's got a number 88 is his number.
Yeah, he's number 88. He's got, pads and stuff. The helmet I thought was kind of cool. It's like inflatable so they can make it fit real good.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of impressive technology that goes into a football helmet to
Yeah.
make them still not prevent concussions.
Right.
Football is killing people.
Yeah.
That's our stance.
I know it would kill me.
It certainly would kill, yeah.
That's why I stay as far away from those things.
I had a football hit me in the ear one time and it was no fun.
You know what? If you'd asked me to write down on a piece of paper without you telling me anything how it would feel to be hit in the ear by a football,
Yeah?
I'd
Fun
write.
would not be one of them?
No, exactly. I might write a few things, but not fun.
No. I mean, of all the balls, it's the pointiest.
Definitely. Only like this is like on the fence, but like a javelin is maybe the only pointier ball that I can think of.
Right, yeah, but I don't think that's a ball.
It's on the fence.
True.
Yeah,
True enough.
It's on the fence though, isn't it?
I suppose. Or is a football more javelin than ball?
When
When you
it's
think
the
about the way you
squishiest
throw it.
javelin.
Yeah, exactly. And right in the middle of that, the missing link is those Nerf footballs
They
with
make
the
it
arrows on the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They make it squishy so you can kick it. You couldn't kick a javelin.
You could, but I don't think you'd get a lot of... The center of weight's too high, right?
If you asked me to write down that experience,
What's it like to kick a javelin?
not fun.
I bet I think it might be fun. I don't think it would be very effective.
I think it would probably stab you in the foot.
Well, I wouldn't kick it. Like, you don't kick a football from the point.
Do you not?
No, you put it on the point and you kick the middle part. Haven't you ever seen a Charlie Brown cartoon?
I guess I just don't know much about football.
Fair enough. How much do you know about ballet?
Not very much.
Well, we're about to see
everything I know about ballet I learned from
this episode.
Phantom of the Opera, Return of the Phantom for MS-DOS.
Yes. A figure that would cause a man to blow his brains out from unfulfilled desire.
What?
It's a real good line from the book Phantom of the Opera,
Oh,
where they're describing a ballerina.
I don't know that they had that line in the video game.
They did not, but I think about it a lot because it's some writing. Good job, whoever translated the book. Let's be honest. Maybe it's in the French. I don't know. But we digress.
Guess what, Andrew?
Football, ballet?
No, I didn't actually want you to guess. I just wanted you to say what.
What?
Lynn Swan has been dancing longer than he has been playing football, and that is 14 years since the fourth grade, since when he has played ballet, jazz, and tap.
Did you look it up, or did he say that?
He said that, and I wrote it down, and I didn't have any jokes around it. Thought I would
Okay.
just tell you all those things.
Yeah, okay. That is fair. So he does some ballet warm-up stretches with Mr. Rogers.
Yep.
Mr. Rogers much more in his element in a ballet studio
Then,
than with a football.
oh yeah, I was like, then in his own house.
Yeah. At one point, the ballet coach, instructor,
The ballet master is his
the ballet
formal title,
master,
Mr. Davis.
has something to do, so he walks Mr. Rogers over to the piano, and he says, "You know Leela." So Mr. Rogers knows the lady who plays piano for the ballet studio.
All right.
They's pals.
I mean, they both play piano.
Yeah, true enough.
Maybe they have done a duet.
Maybe.
Mr. Davis's job is mostly to shout Italian words at young women.
Yeah, and sometimes,
Football players.
yeah, football players and not. I don't know if the other guy is also a football player.
If you are a ballerino, you got to try your hand at football at least because the skills are transferable.
That's true. I
As-
mean, I feel like it has
as
been a
Lynn
trope in
underlines.
multiple things.
It's a real stereotype. Oh, like you play
Yeah.
football, you can
I
go
bet
dancing.
you also do ballet. Yeah, Community does it.
Oh, yeah.
Some other thing did it with a football player. Maybe Sabrina. I don't know.
Harvey. Harvey's a man of many talents.
Harvey Kinkle.
His name is Kinkle.
Yeah. Harvey's real last name is Kinkle. I don't know why.
Okay. Why is anyone named anything?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's a more absurd name than Saberhagen, the more I think about it. Or Spellman.
Any more notes from...
As Mr. Rogers is doing the stretches, he says, "Oh, these are like jogging stretches."
His sport of choice.
Yeah, and I'm like, is Mr. Rogers just hardcore into jogging? I bet he is.
I mean, he can outrun an electric car. We know that much.
I don't think that takes much. So yeah, we watch Lynn and Laura.
Laura
Broach.
The name Laura.
Yeah, Laura Broach is the ballerina. They do a little two
the female ballerino.
Yeah, right. It seems, I mean, I'm not an expert on ballet. It seems fine.
Maybe.
Apparently they've only been working on it for one day.
Yeah, Mr. Rogers was like, so how long do you have to work on this? And he's like fishing for it takes a lot of practice. But they're like, no, a day.
Yeah.
We've been practicing for a day.
Now, I feel like this pas de deux.
All right.
I feel like Laura was doing all the heavy lifting in this dance.
Yeah.
And that Lynn was doing all of the actual heavy lifting of her.
Yes.
Mostly he stood there and awaited her jumping, and then he would catch her or lift her up.
Yeah, I think that maybe he hasn't done a lot of ballet recently, and that it's just one of the cards in his wallet.
Maybe.
And so in order to show off his ballet skills, it's like, I have 24 hours to remember some ballet.
This was why I was trying to find a video of him doing ballet to see if he has anything more. But I mean, also he's just, he's a big guy. I think if you're a big guy in ballet,
you have a lot more maintaining momentum,
lifting and spinning.
Yeah.
And I mean, he spins well.
Mm-hmm.
There's a good maintaining of momentum.
Sure.
I don't know. I'm not a ballet expert, but I'm sure he's fine.
Lynn Swan knows a lot about two things that we know very little about.
Do you want to guess how many different sports writers have used the headline Lynn Swan Lake or Swan Lake with two N's in discussing Lynn Swan and his ballet?
Do you have an answer to this?
A bunch. When I Googled him, it came up multiple times.
Okay, all right. This is not a hypothetical question.
No, this is not a hypothetical. I didn't even think of it because I'm too clever or not clever enough.
I was too busy thinking about the fact that both his first and last names end with two N's.
I was mostly distracted by the fact that he has a girl's name.
He has a man's name and a man's occupation. Don't you forget it.
All right.
Do you have any more notes from the studio?
No, I do not.
I have one from when we get back to the studio.
All right.
Mr. Rogers remarks, they really care about what they do. And then as he's starting into the next scene, he realizes and he's like, I also care about what they do. Just wanted to clear that up. I wasn't saying that I don't care because I do.
That's
care let's go to the land of make-believe.
Yep. And we do pretty much straight into the land of make-believe from Mr. Rogers' house.
Yep.
He says, let's imagine that they run into Lynn Swan. That'll be fun.
Yeah, sure.
Sure enough they do, but not for a bit.
No. Well, here we are in the land of make-believe.
Yeah.
Lady Everlynn's talking to the trolley about her painting, which is now, or drawing.
Yeah,
pastel drawing.
I think it's come along quite nicely.
Yeah, I would say the blue paper, good choice.
Yeah,
gave it a very
really the colors pop.
Colorful nighttime.
I like the clock
vibe.
Really pop. I like how the colors pop in the nighttime. It gives it sort of a kind of a Van Gogh thing.
Sure.
It reminded me of like his painting of The Room,
or his painting of the plains of Auvers.
Much less so.
More his. I bet Lady Elaine's painting will remind you.
More his like dark work.
Sure.
Yeah. Or just like a blacklight laser tag or miniature golf course.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. It's a very Black Velvet sort of vibe to it.
Naturally.
Yes.
But then she decides, for no justified reason, except that she wants to, and because we imagined it,
yeah,
she will dance.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like the agency you're giving me in the role of this woman to.
Well, I just thought it was funny because when Mr. Rogers introduced the segment, he said, "Let's imagine that Lady Aberlin is finished her drawing and that she would also like to dance too." And then I'm like, "We're just no reason." And then she kind of dances and doesn't give any justification.
Yeah.
It's like, I have been commanded to dance.
Yeah, that is.
But she doesn't dance right away because
No, she's interrupted by the flourish of bugles, and first Queen Saturday arrives and says, "Oh, that's coming along now." I don't know what King Saturday says.
Queen Saturday.
Yeah, sure. I don't remember what Queen Saturday says either. King Friday's on the phone.
With whom?
Someone. And then King Friday.
Oh,
shows
they
up.
between Sarah and Aberlin, they ponder what the surprise prize might be.
All right.
Neither of them know because King Friday's being quite secretive, which he will kind of stop being quite secretive in this very episode.
Yeah, I figured it out.
They make it pretty clear.
Yeah.
So King Friday finally shows up.
He's concerned about the weather. He might have been on the phone with the weather bureau.
Oh, maybe.
He's concerned about the weather. Lady Aberlin thinks, "Oh, you're worried it's not going to be a nice day?" He's like, "No, I'm worried it won't rain."
Yeah, he's like, "Well, I mean, maybe maybe a good day would not be good. I'm not going to tell you what the prize is,
but yeah, he's concerned it might be too nice of a day." Lady Aberlin says she doesn't understand. King Friday says surprises are not for understanding.
He has a lot of prize-based philosophy.
Yeah.
I guess when your job is whatever you want it to be, you get a lot of time to think about whatever one small thing you're working on.
Yeah, I guess so.
Lady Aberlin shows King Friday her drawing.
And then immediately disqualifies herself because she's a member of the immediate royal family.
Yeah, she says, "You're my uncle, so I don't think I should be eligible to win the prize," which, good point.
Yeah, although, I mean, that really cuts into the pool of contestants quickly.
Yeah, it might disqualify Lady Elaine, but we haven't really confirmed or denied whether she's related.
Yeah, and she hasn't really volunteered that information.
I mean, we know that she only has one sister whose name is Barbara.
That's true.
She could be a lady from another royal.
Well, there is that Aunt Elaine.
Right. Who knows?
So Lady Aberlin says, "But I'll still do a dance for you, the king."
And then the king says, "Well, that's very thoughtful of you. Not a lot of people consider that the giver of a prize may have needs of his own," which I guess his need is
to see a dance. Yeah. This felt very, like, this felt the most like something that would happen in a weird royal family where somebody prepares a dance for their uncle, the king.
Right. And then it's part of a plot to dethrone him. I'm thinking like Hamlet or something. I can picture this happening in one of those
the dance
Shakespearean
wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king.
There you go.
So she does a dance around the town.
Then
there's a bit of painting, and then she runs into two sad football players.
Yeah, sad football players are suddenly incorporated into her dance. One is a famous football player.
One is Lynn Swan.
And one is just a dog man.
One is Bob Dog.
Yes. But they're both football players because they're both wearing uniform.
Yeah, number 88 and 87.
Yeah, Bob Dog. Yeah, I mean, I know that Lynn Swan is 88 from his earlier appearance in the episode, but who would have guessed that Bob Dog, of all people, would be the number immediately preceding him?
You can just sort of pick whatever number you want.
I guess. I would have thought that 87 would be another professional football player, but I guess it's actually this imaginary dog.
I mean, it's this might not be in the same league, so maybe the numbers are recycled.
Maybe.
Lynn Swan.
Lady Aberlin, after discovering the sad football players, immediately incorporates them into the narrative of her dance.
Yeah, does her level best to cheer them up through the medium of dance. She does a bit of a Charleston in there.
Yeah, she does a Charleston,
That's
and
fun.
then she steals the football armor from Lynn Swan.
Yep, that's what it's called, football armor.
And I guess by stealing it from him and dancing with it, she convinces both of the sad football players to dance and be happy.
Yeah. But they're quickly sad again after the dance is over and they get over to King Friday.
They're sad because they lost.
They're sad because they lost the game. King Friday says, well, if you tried your best, that's fine. Basically.
Yeah, he says that's a win in my book.
Yeah.
And if you're winning in the King's book.
King Friday is more mature than I feel like he sometimes lets on.
He's more mature than he is in other weeks.
Yeah, maybe that's the actual.
We have some weeks where King Friday is the irrational one, where he wants nothing more than a purple jet car plane.
Right. True enough.
And some where he's just the voice of reason.
Yeah. Lady Elaine pops up. She thinks Lynn Swan's cute.
Does she?
Yeah.
I missed that.
She says, use this handsome man or whatever.
So she's like, oh, are you on Bob Dog's team? And then Lynn Swan says, excuse me, we're on each other's team.
Right.
Like, you'd think this would happen the other way around, like asking Bob Dog, oh, are you on Lynn Swan's team? And then Lynn Swan says, no, we're on each other's team, to say we're both equal.
Right.
But in the scenario that happened, Lynn Swan is trying to, like, say, hey, no, I'm every bit as good as Bob Dog.
Yeah.
We're equal.
On this, the neighborhood of make-believe football team.
I mean, I guess when you're on a team with a Bob Dog, you don't want to be overshadowed by
True enough.
the canine majesty of his football prowess.
So, Lady Elaine is here to get more information about the prize.
What is the prize? And if she just
information.
pays attention, she'll get a ton of information.
Yeah. But instead she leaves.
Yeah, she's told, no, we're not going to tell you.
No, we're not going to tell you. No, we feel okay about having lost. And she's out of there. Her painting will be ready tomorrow.
Yep.
Then the trolley comes by.
And Lady Averlin says, oh, hi, trolley. Are you here to take us back to reality?
Yeah, she says time to go back to reality now.
Which we hadn't really heard it from that. Like, we've always just been calling it Mr. Rogers' neighborhood versus the neighborhood of make-believe. But I guess it's neighborhood of make-believe versus
reality.
Reality.
Yeah.
Like, they acknowledge it as reality as well.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that's it's been a while, I feel like, since we've had canonically within the neighborhood of make-believe that, no, there's still Mr. Rogers' neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
I was starting to worry that we were getting disconnected and these had split off, but no, they're still tied together.
Yes.
So that's good.
There's more distinction between what is make-believe and what is reality. Even though one of them is called the land of make-believe, I would say that compared to the beginning, they've delineated that even more.
Yes. Yes, indeed. But no, the trolley just has a note from Harriet E. Cow,
the school teacher,
who says, kids have done some drawings for the contest. Somebody come pick them up. I can't. I'm
it's
a tiny puppet,
the letter is addressed to anyone at the castle.
Yeah, just whoever
is able to walk over to our someplace else school and back to the castle, make this delivery.
Yeah. So
I guess I don't know what. Why was Mr. McFeely of Speedy Delivery not able to make this?
That's
Speedy
a
Delivery?
Good question. A lot of props in this episode. He was working hard on.
He wasn't in this episode.
No, he wasn't. So Lady Averlin, rather, as the most mobile person present, heads over to the school to pick up the pictures, which we see now as we cut to the schoolhouse.
This is my favorite scene in the episode.
This is a great scene. Whose painting do we want to start with?
I mean, let's go from left to right.
Left to right, I think, is good. So we start with Daniel. Daniel has a very sort of what you would expect if you told a child of whatever Daniel's age is to draw the neighborhood of make-believe.
Yeah.
I guess it's not clear how old it's
if you asked a 3-year-old
okay, yeah,
to draw the land of make-believe and gave them some crayons or told them to draw really anything, it's just crayons and scribbling, really.
I mean, there's what is clearly the museum go-round.
Maybe. I didn't get all that out of it.
Oh, no. There's definitely something that I think was the museum go-round, and by process of elimination, maybe something else was a castle or a tree. Daniel, by his own admission, is bad at drawing.
Yeah, they say we all tried our best, and Daniel says, my best isn't very good.
Yeah, but Anne Platypus reassures him, but you're very good at math.
Yes.
which I guess comes from living in a clock.
A clock with no hands. Which I guess it makes math even more important.
Yeah,
If your
it's
clock doesn't
just
have hands,
all numbers.
you just have to remember what time it was and
Yeah. Well, and he wears
figure it out
that
from there.
watch.
That's true.
Yeah. Do you think Daniel Tiger was more comfortable in base 12?
Maybe.
That would be pretty wild. It's not like he has 5 fingers.
Moving on to Ann Platypuses.
And Platypus has a pretty halfway decent drawing.
Yeah, it's what you would get from like
A mom.
maybe like a grade 4 or 5 student who is pretty good at art.
Or a 30-year-old woman who's not pretty good at art.
Maybe so. You think that's who made this?
I mean, it feels like a very this is what the teacher did.
Yeah.
Trying to sort of still stay.
I mean,
in the realm
really,
of what a
your
kid would
artistic skills, if you're not like pursuing them, they probably level out at about grade 4. So she, I guess the notable thing about her neighborhood is that rather than doing buildings, she has included the members that make up the neighborhood.
do. And also a lot of buildings.
Yes, she
Yeah.
did kind of everything.
I think I saw Purple Panda in there.
Yeah,
so I guess we missed his reveal.
Yeah, I saw that and I felt bad for you because I know you were waiting for Purple Panda.
I remember those episodes being pretty wild.
Maybe one day we can go back and find those.
He comes in from space on like a light up toy that you would get at like
don't spoil it.
Cosmic City or one of those real sciencey toy stores.
Maybe once we've watched all of the 88 episodes that we
don't
have,
even. That's an exhausting prospect. Even
then we'll
now.
go back and watch that 1 week before calling it quits.
And Prince Tuesday.
Yeah, he has just written the word nom
Yeah.
on a piece of blue cardstock.
He's just decided, well, instead of drawing the neighborhood of make-believe, I'll just write out the initials for it.
Harriet E. Cow, as she's like, okay, you kids got all your pictures? Prince Tuesday, have you decided to do anything more with...
Have you decided you're done? Is this what we're going with?
Like, she doesn't say anything bad about it, but
No.
you can tell she's not impressed.
No, and neither, because he says, is like, yeah, no, Dad likes initials a lot.
And I'm not eligible for the prize anyway,
So I think I'm probably good just writing N-O-M and drawing 2 flowers
Yeah.
underneath and saying, yeah, that's what the neighborhood looks like.
I just love that.
He's phoning it in.
Yeah, I would not expect from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood to have one student just
So
doing
clearly phoning it so hard in.
just not doing a good job at all on their home, like not
No.
trying to do well on their homework at all. And like not being reprimanded for it, just
No.
like, oh well, sometimes the kids just don't do good
I
work.
guess the text we're supposed to take from this is that no, he tried his best and this is his perspective. But no, he is clearly just not, he does not care.
No, he's not trying his best. He
No.
said, I know my dad likes initials, so N-O-M.
Yeah, like he's like a
I can't win,
surly
so-
and uncooperative child, except he's too cheery about it, so you don't catch on. I do like the line about how King Friday likes initials.
Yeah.
Because he does. That's true.
Does he?
I mean,
He does have like the B room and the C room.
yeah, that's true. And he's like 13s on stuff and
That's a number though.
KF13.
That's true. On the jet.
Yeah. He seems like an initially kind of guy. I can buy that as a character trait of his. So Lady Aberlin picks up the paintings and heads back to the castle, where King Friday is looking at one last piece of art we're going to see today
By
by Corny Especially.
who is still using the pretzels from last week.
Yeah, continuity.
Continuity abounds. He's made actually pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is actually a pretty impressive
Pretzel
representation of
art.
the town with pretzels.
He's used all manner of pretzels.
Yeah, straight pretzels, squirrely pretzels.
Yeah, more pretzels than were even introduced to us last week.
I only really remember straight
And he's
ones
made
and
this because
early
he
ones.
now has a pretzel machine, which I guess makes more than rocking chair pretzels.
Yeah, and maybe...
And a surplus of food glue.
Yeah, because he says it's edible.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I'm like, if that's white glue, I don't know if anybody's going to eat that actually. But, yeah, it's pretty good. I feel like the Eiffel Tower maybe gets a little lost in the castle.
Yeah, he
Because-
has overlapping
because
structures.
Everything is pretzels. Yeah,
Mhm.
so it's a little unclear sometimes. But, I mean, I still
Yeah, it still
read
reads.
it, so maybe it's...
It's pretty good. Pretty good work.
Maybe I was wrong.
King Friday
Anything else?
Yeah, there's something pretty significant.
Oh, right, yes.
King Friday, while he has Corny especially here,
Oh, yeah.
the inventor, he asks him, so do you have any sort of machine that could
make rain?
And Corny's like, what? And King Friday says, rain like the kind that sometimes falls from the sky. That kind of rain.
Yeah, Corny says, no, I don't really have any, there's not much call for it. People usually like nice days, as if there wasn't an enormous market for a machine that could produce rain.
Yeah.
Like, that would revolutionize the agricultural industry.
Mm-hmm.
You could solve world hunger. You could bring life back to drought-starved regions.
Yep.
Corny especially is a bad businessman.
He's like, let's put all of our resources into pretzel rocking chairs.
And then let's lose interest in it over the weekend and just do some paintings out of all these leftover pretzels. He probably woke up and was like, why do I have all these pretzels? Oh.
Guess what? So did the prop man. David Newell for Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Maybe it wasn't even the prop man. Maybe it was like Mr. Rogers got home with this big tub of pretzels and like...
Oh yeah, because he did go to the pretzel factory the other day. And then
3 handfuls of pretzels in, he was like, I don't think I can eat all these pretzels.
Before they go
He's
bad.
clearly concerned about his health because he's jogging. So like that's a lot of salt and cholesterol. He's not a young man.
Yeah. The last thing...
Do something with these.
Unless you've got any other notes, the last thing that happens in the land of make-believe... The note from Harriet E. Cow that Trolley had delivered earlier, Lady Aberlin concerned that she might not have been supposed to put the note back on the trolley, and is this going to wreck the continuity of the story? Quickly snatches it as the trolley is driving away.
Yeah, I think it reaches in from out of frame.
Yeah, and then shouts, "Thanks for the note, Trolley. We've already... moved the delivery that the note was concerning, but thanks for delivering."
Was the trolley just waiting at the castle, or did it come back again?
No, it had just been waiting there the whole time, chatting, I guess, making small talk with the king.
Yeah, from behind its big wall,
which is the guardrail that has been made to protect judges from
falling onto the tracks or setting something down on it. I mean, do we want to lock in our bets for what the surprise prize is?
I mean, the surprise prize is a rainbow.
It's a rainbow. Which is a bit hubristic
to assume that you'll just... I'm sure I'll figure out a way to get a rainbow.
Yeah, no. I'll have a rainbow, said King Friday and God.
Yeah. Yeah, so...
also kind of like the rainbow has already been assigned a value.
Right.
God sent Noah a rainbow to say, good drawing of the neighborhood.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I remember it.
I will never again hold an art contest.
Probably for the best.
Probably for the best.
All things considered.
Yeah.
So I guess let's
head back to reality.
To reality.
Yeah.
Everything a lot crisper and cleaner in reality.
Yeah.
Less Vaseline around the edges.
Yeah. Right.
Well, here we are back in reality.
Mr. Rogers sings a song and we all go home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does. He sings.
It's you I like.
Yeah. He's sung it before. We've sung it before.
He'll sing it again.
Y'all
this
know
time
how it goes.
I thought he sounded very much like King Friday.
Did he?
Just in the way he was singing it. I don't know. But it might have been because I was half distracted trying to find videos of Lynn Swan doing
ballerino dance.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you expect from the last episode? We didn't resolve the whole thing in the second to last episode, which is
that's
the first time in a couple weeks.
I mean, we'll see. Do you think we see? I hope we see Lady Aberlin's.
Oh, I'm positive we will. She has teased that it moves.
Do you think she loses and learns that that's okay, or wins and learns that the prize is just a rainbow will be there somehow?
Either works. I think that there is a sufficient foreshadowing to say that Ann Platypus is going to win this. Because when they saw that Ann Platypus included the people of the neighborhood, everyone was like, "Oh, why didn't we just did buildings, but yours is so much more people.
People are in it. Neighborhood, not nearby buildinghood." Do you think King Friday has a way of making a rainbow, or he's just
gonna get lucky,
being rainy and also sunny?
What if
Like, is he going to shoot a beam of light through rain that he's hoping for?
What if the day comes for the judging, they pick a winner, and King Friday is still just hoping to chance a rainbow, doesn't get one, has to make a royal apology.
Like, we know he's banking on it being rainy.
Like,
is he also banking on it being sunny, or does he have some part of this lined up?
It's the second last day, and we realize that his plan is still only barely coming to fruition. He's still just spitballing ideas of, wait, how can I actually acquire this?
Yeah. Yeah. Also, he hasn't revealed what the plan is, but he's deadlocked into rainbow.
It would be...
Like, from day one, he was like, it's going to be a rainbow. Do you think it was the contest he was most excited about, or a rainbow he was most excited about?
Who knows?
He just got real excited about the idea of a rainbow. Well, hopefully Mr. Rogers will be talking about something that is useful in the production of rainbows on command next week.
I think it would be funny if next week the prize is something like, he never said it would be rainbows, so he is totally able to change it at the last minute. But wouldn't it be funny if we had all this foreshadowing for rainbows and then the prize was like
Skittles?
Gumdrops. Yeah, exactly.
No, I said Skittles.
Like, just something I picked up at the Dollarama on my way over here, because it turns out it was...
Maybe it's just like a colorful umbrella that's very big.
A normal sunny day.
And it's just like, it won't be very impressive if it's not raining. People will be like, I don't need an umbrella. It's sunny. It's always sunny here.
Well,
the sky is painted on a wall.
I think we've done more than enough speculating.
I think you are quite right. Tune in next week to find out the answer to some of these questions and more.
In episode 1485.
Ooh. That's a number.
It certainly is, Andrew. So I guess you'll want to be sure to check out the Tumblr. Please won't you be my.tumblr.com.
Yeah, that GIF you were talking about of Mr. Rogers doing a thing.
Sure.
Some ballet.
Sure.
All the pictures.
Sure. N-O-M.
N-O-M. The letters N-O-M. The rats of Nom.
Yeah, that'll be updated a day or two after the podcast goes up.
If you just follow it on Tumblr, you'll know right away.
Our theme song was provided by Dan Brisbane.
Good old DB.
Dogbone.
Dan Brisbane. They're just his initials.
Deli Bakery.
It's just his initials. D for Dan, B for Brisbane. Our trolley transition tune
was made by Rindale.
R. He only gets one initial, because it's not even... Maybe it's his real name. Wouldn't that be weird?
We'll be back when the week is new.
And we'll have more ideas for you.
Andrew, I know you'll have things that you want to talk or think or spell about.
I mean, I'll talk about anything if it distracts from you making fun of me.
So you will have things?
Yes, I will have things I want to talk about.
Oh, good. I will too.
So let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you please? Won't you please? Please, won't you be my neighbor? Won't you please? Won't you please? Please, won't you be my podcast?
To change the subject briefly, do you know how to make rain with your machines?
Make what?
Make rain. You know, the kind that sometimes falls from the sky.